What is up, everyone, and welcome back to the final and probably the best splatocalyspe video. Today, we are going to rank all the weapons in Splatoon 2. Now, I was unprepared, so what I did was I ranked them by category. So, like, the splooshes are ranked in order. The Splattershot Pros are ranked in order. They're not actually ranked in order, and like when I get to that class, I'll tell you like where I would have ranked it, like kind of like like I'll just tell you if it's an average weapon or like like if it's like or if it's like hey like it's gonna be one of the two. So the first one we're going is the gals, and we just got the OG gal, the .52 gal. It has the point sensor and the baller. It's a good weapon. I just personally like bombs that aren't point sensor, and I never. I just don't think Baller is that good in this game. Kraken was way better, but and Baller is like its little cousin. It sucks. Plays with Legos. It leaves that one Lego out on the floor, so when you step on it, you start crying. It's one of those guys. But I mean, it's not bad. The weapon itself isn't that bad. I like the weapon. Now we got the 9.6 Deco, which it has Sprinkler and Splashdown. Or, no, Splash Wall and Splashdown. Sorry, my bad. I misunderspoke. So this one's pretty cool because it's like the .52 Gal, but it has longer range, so the Splashdown works more effectively for that. But the one thing that does contrast with it is the Splashdown, because it's more of a long-range weapon, and if you get in a close confrontation battle, you're going to lose. So Splashdown is like your only way out, but my thing is, don't get in a situation where you have to use Splashdown. Then, like, unless you get in one of those sticky situations, you're not going to use Splashdown just because. I just feel like that is a contrasting special and weapon, and that's why most of these weapons are ranked like in the lower portion of their group, because it contrasts. You'll see that that's a common theme throughout this video. Now we have the .52 Deco, sorry, the .52 Gal Deco. It has curling bombs, and again, since this one's a little closer range, that really works out. And then even if you need to be in the back lines, you can use your Stingray, which I think is really, really cool. I like it. Good on them. And finally, the best of the gals, or the original sets of gals, is the 9.6 gal, just the OG, because it has ink armor. So like as you're in the backlines firing, you can activate ink armor and push up on them. Also, sprinklers here. I mainly did it only because you can build up special faster. I mean, it can kill people, but, probably not. But the best of the best gals is the Kensa gal, and got a little list here. I need to find it. 1 second. I know, super professional. So. Why is it? Where are you? There you are. Nice. Okay, so the .52 Gal, again, I like this more than the 9.6, even though the 9.6 is a little more accurate and more powerful. I don't know, I like both of the main weapons. But this one, what really pushes it over the edge is the Booyah Bomb. I love any weapon with Booyah Bomb. Fantastic. Also, if you need to be in a defensive situation, or you just want to push up on the opponent, you can throw down a splash wall for either scenario, and you'll be set. Golden. Case closed. Okay, onto the aerosprays. These things aren't very powerful. They're used for literally ink and nothing else. And sadly, the best aerospray of the game in Splatoon 1 is the worst aerospray in Splatoon 2. Because it has Sprinkler, and that's freaking great. I love that. That was its sub in Splatoon 1. Awesome. But it's special is what really sucks. It's Baller. And sure, Baller's great. You can use it for many scenarios. You can use it for Clam Blitz. You can use it for Turf War. You can use it for Rainmaker. It works for a lot of scenarios. But man, if you're an ink weapon and you can't fight, why on earth would you have baller? Sure, you can explode and like that's your damage output, but if that's your only damage output, you're kind of screwed and you're left on the battlefield crying for help. That's why it's the worst. The next one is the MG. I like this one a little more because of the curling bomb launcher. I think the old one had seeker bomb launcher, but now they don't have seekers, so they gave you curling bombs. Pretty darn close. And I like that. Also, it has suction bombs. You can be a little sneaky with where you place those. But again, no firepower. And really, the next one is where it's at. The Aerospray PG. I love the Aerospray PG. It's from the first game. It had Burst Bomb and Kraken. And this one, I think it's even better because it has Burst Bomb, which you can like hit them with 1 or 2 Burst Bombs and then just shoot them dead. You don't even need to shoot them that much after that. And then you got a Booyah Bomb, just in case the Burst Bombs wasn't enough. So, like, you're set for life with the Aerospray. Pretty darn good. I love this weapon. One of my favorite, just like, based off of pure ink. One of my favorite inking weapons. Easy. Alright. We're on to my nemesis, which, no, is not snipers, even though it's very, that's true. Did I might have put this in wrong, because I thought I put the, I don't know. Anyway, it's the Jet Squelchers. But I thought I put the original Jet Squelcher below the custom one. Maybe I did. Maybe I made a stupid error. Hold on. Let me double check this. I'm sorry that I'm like really unprofessional and not prepared. I thought I was, and then realized I'm not. Yeah. So the regular should be under the. Yeah, that should be below this. Sorry, my bad. Okay, we're just gonna go backwards order. So, Jet Squelcher, the original, I think is worse. You're in the back lines and you got 10 missiles. That's great, but you got Toxic Mist, and sure that can slow them down, but that takes a good portion of your ink. And you're not super powerful. The Splattershot Pro is more powerful than you, but you have more range than a lot of weapons, and that's your boost as the Jet Squelcher. The custom Jet Squelcher, however, I like a little more, even though the Stingray got nerfed, because it has Stingray. And what's the other one? What else does it have? Burst Bomb. So you can throw a Burst Bomb. I think you need 2 shots after that if it's an indirect hit, and they're dead. While Stingray got nerfed, it's not super duper weak. Like, it still causes a hefty amount of damage. So if you can get the enemies in the right spot, you can get 2 kills, or maybe like just damage them enough, and then your team can swoop in to save the day. But like both weapons are pretty good. I just think the custom is a tad better with the Burst Bomb combo, and even though Stingray is nerfed, I still think it's pretty darn good. Now, if I'm correct, we're on to the splooshes, and this is the custom sploosh. No, this is the Sploosh Neo. They don't have customs. I'm dumb. Sorry. No, it is the custom sploosh. What the? Okay, no, I was right. I'm not stupid. I take that back. I'm a freaking genius. This website is very odd. Okay, we're just gonna... Alright. I have no clue where it is. I'm trying to remember what the actual sploosh has. This one has... I think it has Suction Bomb and Inkjet. No, that's the Splash. Oh, frick. Wow, I'm really falling on this one. Why does the website have this? Oh, I hate this. This is dumb. Okay, I can tell. Oh, it's the. Wait. Oh, I'm dumb. It is Neo. It is Neo. I'm so. Jeez. I'm trying to be professional. I realize I'm not professional. I am so sorry. This is supposed to be the best Splatocalypse video to cap it off right before the Splatocalypse stream, the Chaos versus Order, and I'm blowing it. It's alright. So, the Sploosh, Neo Sploosh, has squid beacons. I'm not a fan of squid beacons only because it's not a sub-weapon. Like, sure, you can jump to it and it comes in handy in crucial situations, but all in all, not a fan. Missiles, love missiles, but what really puts this one behind is that it has a squid beacon for its sub. That's what I'm trying to say. Also, it doesn't have a lot of range, but that's just due to the main weapon. So that automatically puts the regular Sploosh-O-Matic above that because it has curling bombs. So what you can do is throw out a curling bomb, swim behind it, and then if anyone tries to ambush you, as long as they don't have a Sploosh Splash or something long range, and you get the jump on them, you win because you have the Sploosh. If you hit them at point blank twice, they're dead. I think it's 3 shots, but still, like that, the ink comes out so fast. It's like it doesn't. You get the drop on them, they're dead, easy. And then if you're in a super sticky situation, you got Splashdown, which really goes hand in hand with the Sploosh. But I think the Sploosh 7 is just a tad better with the strategically placed splat bombs. You can just cover the field wherever you want. It gives you more range to the weapon. And you got the Ultra Stamp, which is super fun to use. And you just go, like, go absolutely ham with the hammer, and you just, like, stomp around. It's great. It's fun. And, yeah, I mean, like, they're both the regular and the 7 are, like, crucial. Like, they're really fun to use, and they both have really good sets, but I just think the 7 is just a tad better. Barely. Kensa Jr. This is probably the worst of the Splattershot Juniors. And I might be a tad biased, only because literally everyone spams torpedoes. They have Sub-Saber all the way, and they just throw torpedoes. And that's it. They don't use the actual weapon. If they used the weapon, maybe I would have ranked it higher. And while torpedoes are good, you gotta use the weapon. I've killed so many people who use torpedoes, like who are torpedo spammers, but usually they're out of range, even of a Splattershot Pro, because they just spam torpedoes. Wow, who would have thunk it? It also has Bubble Blower, which isn't that bad, but you never know, because people only spam torpedoes. Who would have thunk? The custom Splattershot Junior. A lot of people rank this higher because there's like a combo, because all the Splattershot Juniors have 110% ink capacity instead of 100, and auto bombs are there, and auto bombs take up like 45 or 50 something % of ink, so you can throw 2 auto bombs and then chuck your special, which is the ink rain, and then chuck 2 more auto bombs. But I personally think that the OG is better because it has ink armor, and while Splattershot Juniors don't produce a lot of damage, I love ink. I do like ink armor. I'm gonna go against popular opinion. I think the Splattershot Junior is the best because of ink armor, and I love any weapon with ink armor. NZAP 85, ink armor. Jet Sculpture, ink armor. I love it. Even if I don't use it a lot, I still like the weapon. And this is the case here. It used to be Bubbler, and it was so good when it was Bubbler, but those days have passed, and ink armor is there, and, it's not that bad. I like it. Oh boy. Now we're back to... We went away from the splooshes just to come back to the splashes. Splash-O-Matic. This is the... I think this is the OG Splash-O-Matic. No Neos or whatever. So the Splash-O-Matic, it has Toxic Mist and Inkjet. Now, I like a good Inkjet, but again, it's Toxic Mist. If it were like Burst Bomb, it'd probably be above the Neo, but it's not. And while Inkjet is super good, and I like the Splash-O-Matic just because of its fast firing and tad more range than Sploosh, I think the Neo is just a hair better. And when Andrew played Splatfest, I gave him this weapon because I said, look, You got burst bombs. You just throw them and then you shoot the guy. They're dead. Also has suction bomb launcher. When you when you feel like you really have control, you just hit that button and chuck some suction bombs. And Andrew won games with it. So like that says something.
I did.
He's in the background of this video. I'm not sure if. Yeah, he's really proud of that. And I'm proud of him for that. Like, yeah, those were good times. But yeah, Splash, Neo Splash, I think is better than the regular Splash, mainly due to the burst bombs, but the selection bomb launcher also. I think Inkjet is better, but I think just with the weapon at hand, that the Neo has a slight edge just because of the weapon playstyle. Oh boy. Splatter shot. Just regular splatter shot. And we're starting off with the Kensa. Now the reason I put the Kensa here is because again the special contradicts the main weapon. This is a short mid-range weapon and they give you tenna missiles. While tenna missiles are great and work with any weapon, I think Splashdown, Inkjet would have been better, even though they have Inkjet on another. I think they have Splashdown and Inkjet on another one. So I guess I probably would have gone Baller, like as my next weapon. And I know I don't like Baller, but I would have put just with the play style of the weapon, and then give you suction bombs. While you can be sneaky with suction bombs, and I like suction bombs, I can't use them at all. So this weapon was just an all in all not good for me. Now the regular splatter shot, however, that was good. If I'm not mistaken, the regular splatter shot just has burst bombs and splashdown. Yeah, there it is. Which is very good and accurate to the play style, because burst bomb, you hit them and then you shoot them. Again, another burst bomb combo with these fast firing weapons. And again, another sticky situation. You just throw it on a splashdown, chuck a burst bomb, and swim away. Or you can be on the offensive and use the splashdown. Either way, it really works out. And that's the hero shot, same thing. I put the hero weapons in here just to let you see them. Also, it rounded up to an even 140 weapons when I included them. So, of course, I'm going to take them in. I think the best is probably the Tentatek, because it has Inkjet. I do love a good Inkjet and Splat Bomb. Splat Bomb is probably my favorite bomb that I can use, unless Burst Bomb combo comes into play. Then I like Burst Bombs. But even though Burst Bomb combo can come into play with a splatter shot, it's not that efficient, so I prefer Splat Bombs. And Inkjet, I like a good Inkjet. It's been buffed, it's been nerfed, it's had ups and downs, but if you get 2 indirect shots, you kill someone, depending on how bad your aim is, maybe 3. If you get a direct shot, that sucker's out of there. It's great. Love Inkjet. Great special. And then you have the Octo shot from the Octo expansion. Also good. Alright. So, now, we are on to the N-Zaps. One of my favorite classes. I never play with the N-Zap because the Splattershot Pro stole the spotlight, honestly. I love the N-Zap class so much. And sadly, while I like this one probably the most, it's a really close run between these 3 because I love them so much. I think the 83 comes in last because it has Sprinkler. And while it's good, again, you can build up your special, it's not that effective of a sub-weapon, which is sad because I do like the 83. It does have Ink Storm, which is the special that I use the most due to the Splattershot Pro. And I know how to use it, but it's a good weapon, it's just not the best weapon. And this next one, 85, I know a lot of people would say this is probably their least pick, but again, you gotta consider the Ink Armor. This is a fast-firing weapon. If you hit Ink Armor and then run into battle, you can kill easily 2-3 people before you're even close to death. It's ridiculous. Because it fires so fast and it has more damage output than the arrow spray, I would say this is one of the best short to mid-range weapons in the game. And Ink Armor plays a huge role in that. That's probably the best if you want to go on the offensive. But another one that is super good is the 89. I like the 89 of the best, and I know a lot of people love the 89. They'll abuse it. I remember watching Splatfest streams of people just using all 89s and winning. And it's because it's obnoxious. It has auto bombs, which are ridiculous. They can hunt people down, which throws off your opponent. Or you can just find your sneaky opponents, regardless. And it has 10 missiles. So you're double finding your opponents because 10 missiles also tracks them down. And this weapon, while I think 85 is better overall, if if we were just looking at it face value, 85 is better. This weapon disrupts the enemy team so much that it gets them out of position and you can easily flank them. And again, it fires so fast that if you get them out of position and just even a little bit confused or flustered, they're dead. It's great. Good weapon. Love the inzaps, all of them. Okay, Forge Splattershot Pro. I don't even need to look at this one. This one has Suction Bomb and Bubble Blower. I hate this one. Nobody likes this one. This is like your Aunt Susie's third time removed best friend's fish that was invited to Thanksgiving. And no one wanted her to bring her fish. Her best friend's third time removed dog's fish. No one wanted her to bring that. But she did, because it's part of the family. This is that one weapon that nobody asked for. But you could be good if you wanted to be good with it. But the other ones are so easier. This one. I don't understand why I can't use this one. This is the perfect weapon. If Splatoon said, Alex, we're making you a weapon, what sub do you want? I would say Splat Bomb, and they say, great. What special do you want? I would say Booyah Bomb, and they say, Alex, do you want your main, the Splattershot Pro? And I would say, heck yes. This is my dream weapon, and I can't flip and use it. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the paint job on it or whatever. I can't use it. I throw a Splat Bomb, can't kill anyone. And for some reason, my aim is worse with this than the original Splattershot Pro. And I don't freaking know why. It doesn't make sense. This weapon should be my weapon. But it's not. Instead, it's the OG Splattershot Pro. This is the only time I will promote the point sensor sub. Because you have such a long range weapon and you chuck that bad boy, you're about to kill somebody. And it's great. Love the Splattershot Pro. So much. And then Ink Rain, you just throw that whenever. You don't really need to time that special out. You just kind of throw it whenever you want and it works. So, it's a good weapon. My favorite weapon, if you couldn't have guessed, by all the Splatfest and videos I post. Oh boy. Here we go. So, which one is I don't freaking remember. I don't know what the difference is between these two. So the Neo used to be the best weapon in the last game. Anyone could pick it up and they'd win. You had ink mines and oh gosh, what else did you have? Well, it might not have been ink mine. I don't remember. No, the original had ink mines. I totally forgot everything about it. I forgot what this. I think it had like a bomb rush or something. I don't know. But it used to be the best because Luna Blasters were just so obnoxious. Anyone could pick it up and you just mained it. Zach Scott actually mained it. And I was like, bro, you're not good with this weapon. Anyone's good with this weapon. Andrew could have picked up the Luna Blaster Neo and like crushed people. That's how good the weapon was. And it has taken a huge nosedive. It has ink mines, and ink mines have been nerfed in this game. They do like 50% damage, and they used to do 10% damage, but now they do 50% damage or something like that. And they track your opponent, which is good, but it's not good enough. And suction bomb launcher, I can't use suction bombs, so I mean, like, it's up in the air. Regular Luna Blaster. This has splat bombs. Again, always prefer splat bombs. And Baller, due to the playstyle, I think Baller would be better in this scenario because it's so close range. You could just Baller out of it, and if the enemy takes any damage, if you hit him with indirect damage and you're close enough, or you have enough main power up, or especially if you get a direct hit, they're dead. Easy, simple as that. They're dead. I would say that the Clash Blaster has taken the Luna Blaster's place, and I used to play the Luna Blaster like when I just like wanted to meme and like joke around, or if I was in a sticky situation I need to rank up. But I honestly would play so many other blasters before picking up the Luna Blaster in this game. I might even pick up the Grim Range Blaster, depending on the mode. I'd definitely pick up the Clash Blaster, and actually the Rapid Blaster. It's kind of good in this weapon, or kind of good in this game, and we're going to get to that in a second. The Kensa. This one has Fizzy Bombs, and, oh gosh, what else do you have? Oh, frick. Well, if I can read... No, that's the Rapid Blaster. Luna Blast. Ink Storm. How could I forget? Fizzy Bombs and Ink Storm. I really think, while I said Baller fits with the playstyle, I like Fizzy Bombs. I can't use them. And again, always love Ink Storm. And like with how damage output this weapon's kit is, you could throw a Fizzy Bomb. Again, maybe hit the guy with like the final tail end of the bomb and then shoot him. He's dead. I know a lot of people get stuck in Ink Rain, and if you indirect hit them, easy. That's an easy kill. I do like the Kensa Luna Blaster. Now, on to a different one. So, if I'm correct, this is just the regular blaster, which sounds about right. I think I'd rank it about yep. Blaster, it's a little longer range, and it's just not good. So its sub is Toxic Mist, which really helps players like me, because it just slows everything down. But a lot of, top players, they just don't use the sub, and they can just kill you, which is super annoying. And that's not why it's ranked this low. But it also has Splashdown. Again, it's only good in sticky situations. I don't even see it in a situation where you would push with this weapon, though. Because if you're going to push, you might as well sit in the back lines and just fire your blaster and just, prey on the splash damage. You wouldn't go in with your splashdown because then you're going to die. So, the special is really just out of place. I don't know. I just don't like it. And then the Hero Blaster, I think it looks super cool and decked out. It's just here. Custom Blaster. Okay, the Custom Blaster, it is a little better. It has auto bombs, which better than, it tracks them down, and then you can start shooting in the general area. And then Inkjet, I love myself a good Inkjet, and it does fit with the weapon's playstyle because it is like a mid to long range weapon. So if you're shooting someone and they get the drop on you, as long as you can pop the Inkjet special, they're going to die. Or if you see someone and you just can't reach them, again, Inkjet, they're going to die, especially with this weapon's playstyle. That's a good kit. Oh boy. I think this is the custom range. And yeah, no, that makes sense. This makes sense why I'd rank it this low. Custom range blaster, I'd say it's one of the worst, if not one of the worst, if not the worst range blasters. I don't like the range blasters anyway, because it requires a lot of skill, like to aim. It's super duper far back, and it's the main reason it's super slow reloading. So its kit is Curling Bomb, and okay, the kit itself, like both of them, Curling Bomb, Bubble Blower. Let me go with the one that's not obscure, Bubble Blower. That makes sense. You hit the bubbles, they pop, and of course with the blaster, it's going to be big. Curling bomb. When I imagine a curling bomb thrown, I imagine curling bomb, squid chases after, pops up, gets 2 or 3 kills. You can't do that with the range blaster. You gotta throw it, or like, hold it and then like chuck it, like, right at the last second before it explodes. I mean, like, and then just like, you gotta let your bomb go one way, and you go another way, and it's just, I don't understand. This kit just doesn't make sense, especially with the weapon. Okay, this is the regular range blaster. So, this makes a little more sense. Suction bomb, which you can throw suction bombs pretty darn far, which works with the kit. You can space your enemies where you want with the suction bomb. And ink storm, again, anyone gets hit with the ink storm and you have two indirect shots or one direct, or like, a close enough indirect shot, and they just took enough damage, that's a kill. So like, that's a good set. See, that's a good range blaster set. That makes sense. And the Grim range blaster, I love this blaster so much. It was like one of my favorites in Splatoon 1, even though I hated with a passion range blasters, and I still kind of do. But you know what? We'll forgive it, because this one, it's like, hey, you can't use a range blaster? Here, we're gonna make it easy for you. Has burst bomb, thank you, and Tenna missile, thank you. Tenna missile, you can just kind of sit in the back and pick away at them. If they get kind of close to you, burst bomb and then kind of shoot at the ground near them. I'm sure it'll explode. If you have enough, accuracy, you might as well take a shot at them. That's a good blaster. Mainly because I'm a noob, but good blaster. So now we have the I think this is the regular rapid blaster, right? I really should have prepared for this. I don't have time though. Like, by the time I'm recording this, I'm like practically going off to camp. But it's fine. We'll make it work. Rapid blaster, ink mine, splat bomb launcher. Okay, I was talking about this earlier in the video. The range blasters, they really redeemed themselves this game. I used them for, like, for a weapon showcase. I didn't hate it. I felt weird. I felt like in a weird paradox, because I like despised them in this game, and I was like, I was ready to despise them, and then I didn't. And it was this weird feeling of, why does this work? It shouldn't, but it did. But again, I don't like ink mines, especially in this game. They got hardcore nerfed, so I'm just not a fan of ink mines. Splat bomb launcher though, I like that. I just can't use bomb launchers. I can't use bombs. Like, what am I talking about? I like, any bomb launcher, I'm not good with it. So yeah, I'm just gonna be real with you guys. All right, the rapid blaster deco. Suction bomb. I can't use suction bomb, but its real saving grace is you're picking off enemies in the back, and then you see someone on the enemy team, or someone sneaks around you, and you realize that, boom, inkjet. That is its saving grace, and that's what puts it over the regular rapid blaster. I like this weapon. I need to get back to using them, like, and just pick them up again, because it has been a while. Kensa rapid blaster. I saw you earlier. The torpedo. This is one of those weapons where a torpedo actually isn't spammed, because it doesn't have the 110% ink capacity. You start shooting people, throw a torpedo, and it's actually used efficiently. Also, it has a baller, which can be used for defense, it can be used for offense, and the way you can play rapid blasters so many ways, so that the baller comes in. I could see the baller being used in like 3 to 5 different ways with just this weapon, which is really cool, and probably why it's on the top of the rapid blasters. This is a different section. This is the Rapid Blaster Pro, and I prefer the Rapid Blaster because it fires faster. This one takes a little longer to recharge, It does more damage and it has more range, but I prefer the Rapid Blaster. Just me. This one is the regular Rapid Blaster Pro. Sorry, and it has Toxic Mist and Ink Storm. Ink Storm, good choice, but with the Rapid Blaster Pro, you probably need 3 to 4 indirect shots, and then with Ink Storm, maybe 2 if you're lucky, definitely 3. And then again, Toxic Mist. That is what really has knocked a lot of these weapons down. I don't use Toxic Mist. While it's efficient and effective, I just don't like it. I would prefer Point Sensors over Toxic Mist, which that's saying something for me. Rapid Blaster Pro Deco. This one I really like because you can be in the back of the map, you have enough range, you have enough power, and you can throw down a splash wall, which really works with this weapon. And then if you need to push up or you need to fall back, whatever you need, you got ink armor on this thing. And that is epic. Love that. Clash Blaster. Oh boy. Okay. This weapon is actually broken. I mean, it's gotten nerfed, but still, I hate it so much. This is the Neo, I think. Let me double check. Yeah, this is the Neo. No. This is the... Oh, frick. I don't know which one's the Neo and which one's not. Okay, let me just tell you which one I ranked where. OG Clash Blaster is just a tad lower than the Neo, and you'll see why when I explain. Regular Clash Blaster has splat bombs, which is great. You can position enemies, but it takes up a lot of ink, and the Clash Blaster already kind of does that. So it's just like a deficit. And also, the Clash Blaster has had one of the most annoying specials, which was Stingray. But it got nerfed, and it also contrasts with its playstyle because it's very close up, and you don't want a Clash Blaster in the back with a Stingray, especially nerfed now, when you can have it in the front shooting people in the face on the tower with the Rainmaker, whatever it may be. The Neo, it has curling bombs, which definitely goes with its playstyle. Throw a curling bomb, swim with it, pop up, shoot people in the face. Also has Tenna Missiles, which might actually take the cake, besides Booyah Bomb, of the most annoying special now that Stingray has been nerfed. Tenna Missiles have always been annoying. They just disrupt your gameplay. So, yeah, Clash Blaster, super annoying, but still really good. L3. We're going into the L3s and the H3s. So, the L3, this is the Kensa L3 to be exact. It has Splash Wall, and I think the Splash Wall works better on the H3, just because it has more range. And the Ultra Stamp really does work with this weapon. I could see why they put it on the L3, but the Splash Ball, I think, because it already has one version of the Burst Bomb, I think the best would have been to equip it with the Fizzy Bomb, because while it would have had both the Fizzy Bomb and the Ultra Stamp, just the way the weapon works, I think that would have been the best kit for the Kensa version. And I do like the Ultra Stamp, but I think the original L3 does take that one over just a little bit, because it has curling bombs, which, while this is kind of a short-range weapon, but you'd probably use this one to throw the curling bomb on one side of the map, and then you come in on the other side, squish the middle, and you might even get a kill or two off of that push. I don't think you'd use it as to throw it and swim behind it. The Baller, that, again, I don't like Baller, but I think it would work with this weapon. Just this play style, and like, then you can pop out of it and start pulse firing, which is just its regular fire rate and like how it works. And I think that would be the best. Like that's a really good way to use the Baller. But yet again, the weapon with the Baller always gets overtaken by something. This time it's the Inkjet. Now, in Splatoon 1, I love the L3D because it was L3, it was Pulse Fire, which I liked, Burst Bombs, which I loved, and Kraken, which was like my second favorite special right behind Ink Strike. So freaking good. I had a chart, and I started it because of this weapon. It was like 1 main damage up, 2 sub damage up, a special charge up, full decked out, and then like, it was crazy. Um, and this one you could really work with it too. You throw a burst bomb and you hit all 3 shots, they're dead. You throw a burst bomb, you hit 2 shots, I think they're dead. And inkjet always comes in handy. Well, not always. Usually always comes in handy. It's a good weapon. I love it. This is the H3. I wasn't a big fan of the H3s, but honestly, they're not that bad. H3 original point sensor Tenna missiles. Very, very good. And honestly, I know I ranked this one lower than the H3D, but I think it might be better. Because point sensor, with this weapon, it being longer ranged, it would work. Point sensor would definitely work. Tenna missiles also would work, because you'd, like, disrupt enemy flow. And the one thing about this is, like, when enemies are running around, you really got to be accurate with this thing, which is why I can't use it. So, then we got the H3D. This one, the main reason why I put it over the other one is that it has ink armor, and that's so good. I love ink armor. Suction bomb, can't use it. Don't ask me. But ink armor, that's mainly why I put it up there, because whether you just need a push, you need to be defensive, or you just suck and need an extra layer of skin, you got ink armor. And this is why. This is why I'm into H3s. The cherry H3 nozzle nose. So good. Splash walls on this thing, which I thought was good because it better fits the H3 than the L3. And has bubble blower. And with enough shots of the H3, I think it's like 2 sets of the pulse firing, all the bubbles are popped. It's great. As long as they haven't been hit before, that's always a factor. But this is such a good weapon. And I really do appreciate it now, even though it was way better in the first one because it had bubbler. So, I mean, but better late than never, right? Squeezer! Okay, Squeezer, I was very skeptical of the Squeezer at first. I was like, I don't know about this thing. But really, when you get to use it, it's not that bad. It's a short range and a mid to long range weapon all wrapped up into one. If you hold the button down, it's a close range. If you tap the button, however fast you tap it is however fast it fires, and it's longer range, does more damage. What's not to like? The Squeezer, it has Stingray and Splash Wall. The reason I put it down below the foil is because the foil has a better kit, but also this one is exclusively long range. Splash Wall, mainly used for defense and long range weapons. Stingray, mainly used for defense and long range weapons. Stingray can be used for offense, but again, defensive weapon is the key word. Squeezer's kind of both, and it works, but if you take a look at the foil Squeezer, it has a better kit, and it just makes more sense. It has a splat bomb, again, and I do love splat bombs. You can position people where you want. I'm not that good, but you can do that. And it also has bubble blower, which with the Squeezer, I'd start tapping that thing like crazy, and I can usually pop the bubbles because it does more damage and it's longer range. But if you need to, you can be close range. This weapon, it's not like steering you in the direction of, hey, you have to be long range. It's like, hey, you can be short range, but you also have, like, it's not forcing you to be one way. Even though it is steering you towards short range, the regular Squeezer is hardcore, like, pushing you into, hey, use this weapon as a long range, which it's really not, but it works. The kit works. It's not bad. I'm not bashing it. I'm just giving my opinion on it. Okay. Carbon roller. So, of the carbon roller sets, the original carbon roller is probably the worst. And hear me out. I know the carbon roller deco is a meme weapon, but once I cover this one and then cover the next one, you'll see why. Carbon Roller has Auto Bomb. Super duper good, tracks your enemies down, but if they see it, you're not going to be able to get into close range. Ink Storm, very good. I've seen a lot of Carbon Roller users throw down the Ink Storm and then use this as a sneaking tactic, and it kind of works. It's ridiculous. That's a good set. But when you look at the deco, it has Burst Bomb, and that is what puts it over the edge. Sure, it has Auto Bomb Launcher, which is a total meme, but Burst Bomb and Carbon Roller deco, that is the worst, the most obnoxious, and the most efficient Burst Bomb combo. Almost always guaranteed. Burst Bomb, indirect damage, hit him with the Carbon Roller. It doesn't even have to be that accurate, and you can hardcore kill him. Oh, it's so... yeah. Good weapon. Obnoxious, but sadly it's a good weapon too. And we're on to the regular rollers. Where are we? We're at Kensa Roller. We're looking at Kensa Splat Roller. There it is. So the Kensa Splat Roller has the Splat Bombs and the Bubble Blower. I don't know. I don't like a roller with Bubble Blower. I think that's very contradictory, and that's why it's here at the bottom. This is the Crack-On. The Crack-On has Beacons and Baller. And I think Beacons does fit it a little better, and Baller it puts it in a certain situation where you can pop it and then swing, or like pop it and then like run away and like try and kill them sneakily, or just pop it, be a nuisance, and then hop back to a Squid Beacon, whatever you want to do. This weapon really, it isn't here to kill, it's here to run in, distract the enemy, die, repeat. That's kind of what it's here for, if we're all being honest. Splat Roller, the OG Splat Roller, is probably one of the best Splat Rollers of the original Splat Roller class, because it has curling bombs. Again, you can throw the curling bomb, follow it, and then with a Splat Roller you can just pop up and kill people. And then it has Splashdown, so like you can follow it, and then the curling bomb, and then splash down. Or you can just splash down whenever you want, because, you know, no one owns you. So you can just splash down however you darn please. Plus, it's a panic button, so that really helps its case when ranking weapons. And, of course, I put the Hero Roller in here. Here's a special detail about the Hero Roller. When not looked at it close enough, it looks like the Carbon Roller. So if you roll around with that thing, and people aren't paying attention, at me and Frank, you can roll over us, because we aren't paying attention, and we think it's a Carbon Roller, and we die. And then we scream at the camera, because we thought it was a Carbon Roller. It's not a Carbon Roller, it's a Hero Roller. Very deceiving. Also a good tactic, though. I mean, like, that's on us, because we didn't notice it. Dynamo Rollers. Now, these get insane. I love a good Dynamo Roller. I didn't use them in the last game. I picked them up this game. Ooh, they're so good. Ink Mine, not a fan. Stingray. Now, Dynamo Roller, of all the roller class, it is the farthest range roller. I don't think any roller should have a Stingray, because it's a roller. So I just think its set is weak. It doesn't make sense. I don't see it coming into play, and it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand it. Kensa Dynamo Roller. I think it's a little better. It has Booyah Bomb. How could you not like Booyah Bomb? And the only reason it's not above the Gold Dynamo Roller, two reasons. One, Kensa Dynamo Roller has Sprinkler. That, you know, again, that's another sub-weapon that usually sends weapons on the lower end. Two, the Gold Dynamo Roller has Ink Armor. I love Ink Armor. Also, if someone's like gets the drop on you and you have Ink Armor on, you can turn around with that Dynamo Roller and flick them to death. It's great. Love it. Gold Dynamo Roller, top notch. It has Ink Armor and a Splat Bomb. I mean, like, you know, it's just here, add insult to injury. It's great. Foil. No, this is just the regular. It's the Flingza. Sorry, my bad. I misspoke. Regular Flingza Roller. Has the Splash Wall. Again, that's a defensive sub, and don't understand why it's there. I mean, I guess if you're charging your special, which makes sense because it's the splat bomb launcher, then you go on the offense, that makes sense. But I don't see the splash wall coming into any other play with your weapon. You could be more of a team player and use it, but Foil Flings, however, has 10 missiles, and that's what puts it over the edge. Because as suction bombs, again, I can't use suction bombs. Suction bombs are good to use, and they're destructive. I can't use them. But it has 10 missiles, so you can disrupt the enemy and then just show up with the Foil Flings. They will die. Like, if they're not paying attention, because you got them on the run with your 10 missiles, they will die. Because it's disruptive. That's what the 10 missiles are. And it works. Almost every single time. Okay. Ink brush. That's where we are. Alex, take a look at the picture. Maybe that'd help. Now, ink brush. I passed it. My bad. Again, the list. It's kind of odd. Okay. There it is. This one is the Nouveau. Baller, again, it works with its playstyle. Don't think it's the best. And Ink Mine, while it works with its playstyle, I think it's just a weak set, all in all. And every other set that the Ink Brush is so much better. Like this one. The original. Has a Splat Bomb, which way more effective than an Ink Mine, and a Splashdown. You can be running around, you got their entire enemy team on you. Boom, Splashdown, they're dead. Super annoying. Kind of effective. And you can, jump into a team, jump to a team member, and then splash down just because you can. The best one, though, of all the ink brushes is almost definitely the permanent ink brush. Because when you paint it, ink stays permanent. I'm just kidding. I wish. Sprinkler. I usually don't like Sprinkler, but for this weapon it makes sense. You throw a Sprinkler somewhere where no ink is being covered, charge up your ink armor, and you go into mid. If you ink it up enough at mid and your Sprinkler gets the job done, you'll have ink armor before the enemy team shows up, and you just bolt. You bolt at them, activate ink armor, run towards them, and flick that brush like you never flicked before in your life. It works. Surprisingly, it works when you especially have two people. Frank and I have a whole video on it, and it worked. We were so surprised that it didn't backfire. It was kind of ridiculous. But yeah, I am stuttering, but I would also recommend it. It's a fun strategy, and it actually can get you wins if you know how to mess with the enemy team enough. Octo Brush. I prefer Ink Brush because it's faster, but Octo Brushes are apparently better. Apparently they have infinite range. They're slower, but they're more powerful, and a lot of people just use them more. This is the Nouveau. The Nouveau has squid beacons and Tenna missiles. While Tenna missiles usually, I would say, don't work with this, you can launch Tenna missiles. Again, it disrupts them, and then you go slowly speeding in there because you have the Octo Brush instead of the Ink Brush. And then if you know how to sneak enough, you can pop out and just kill them, whether you activated Tenna missiles or not. Squid Beak can also get you back in the battle faster, but it also kind of blows the secret spot that you have. So, give or take. Regular Octo Brush. It has Auto Bomb, which again can track out your foes, but it also gives away your spot if you're trying to be sneaky. But if you are throwing it from one side and then quickly swoop around to the other side, they'll be distracted. Or if they're not, again, you can be sneaky, pop out and kill them. And in a pinch, Octobrush has the Inkjet, always useful, because if you're not sneaky enough and you think you are, at me, then you just pop the Inkjet and you get out of the sticky situation. Unless you don't know how to use the Inkjet, again, at me. The Hero Brush, there's not much difference. I just put it in there because, again, I put all the other heroes in there. And the Kensa. I flat out forgot about the Kensa. I am so sorry. And apparently it's the best. Let me look at it again, and I'll probably agree with that. Yeah, it is the best. It has Ultra Stamp, and that's why. Also has Suction Bomb, which is pretty good. You can throw a Suction Bomb. swim around. Suction bombs again are deadly, but the ultra stamp is really where it's at because you could be flicking the ink brush or the octo brush, and then activate ultra stamp. Your enemy team will actually be shook, and you'll probably kill a good number. If you have a team on you, you might be able to pop it out. If you have a one-on-one, I would like to see them win that, because it's an ultra stamp. What you gonna do? Okay, now let me say this before I continue any further. I used to be hardcore Team Squiffy. Now, not so much. Don't know what happened. I just can't use them anymore. I prefer the regular splat charger over the squiff. That's how much we've fallen here. This is the new squiffer. It has auto bombs and baller. While this is a short range charger, I don't think any charger should have the baller, and we'll get back into this when I cover the Kensa splat charger. No charger should have the baller, and then auto bomb. It's good. It works. I mean, like, if you look at it, you can make a case for it, but again, it's one of those weapons that just has a weak set, and there are way better sets out there. So that was the new squiffer. The classic squiffer, however, that's where it's at. Has point sensors, which again, for a sniper is pretty good, and ink armor, which is its real saving grace, because heaven knows I can't use a charger, and if I was going to use any charger, besides the fresh squiff, I'd use the classic squiff, because it has ink armor. But there's the fresh squiff. And the fresh squiff, it has burst bombs, I'm pretty sure. Suction bombs. Sorry, I'm stupid. It had Kraken in the last game. This one has Inkjet. I think that's kind of cool because if you see someone across stage, you can activate the Inkjet, or you can try your best by sneaking around. This could be either. This is probably used, like, this weapon is probably used to push up barely past mid using Inkjet, and then, like, you just kind of hold mid. This is one of those weapons where it's like, team, go ahead, I'll sit back. If you need a living beacon, that's my job. Okay, like I said earlier, we'll just run past this one. And splat chargers are going to be rated like this. Scopes are worse than regulars. Even though scopes have longer range, they prevent you from seeing your entire field of vision. Also, you can't hold a charge under ink. Case in point. Kensa. No charger should have a baller. Done. Firefin. It has a splat wall, but its special kind of contradicts what it's going for, because it's set as a defensive weapon with splash wall, and then they give you suction bomb launcher, and you're like, I'm sorry. It's a good weapon. Frank loves this charger, but I prefer the original because it has a bomb and stingray, and it perfectly makes sense if you need to throw a bomb in a sticky situation when you're in close confrontation. Stingray when you want to help either push or defend, and then snipe when you can. Hero also looks freaking sick. I mean, look at that thing. That is a sick charger, dude. Okay. I still don't use the E-leaders. I probably will never use the E-leaders because they take the longest to charge. Sure, they have the best range in the game. And I just can't use it. I can't. I'm sorry. It has an ink mine, which is good. But, like, I guess it makes sense for this weapon, but there's no way to get out of a sticky situation. What, you're going to place an ink mine when someone gets the drop on you? Like, good luck. It's not going to kill them. It does like 50 to 70% damage. Like, it's not gonna do it. And then it has Ink Storm, which that is its only redeeming factor because that's how it gets its ink. But I mean, even then, that's a stretch. Like, I think the custom is just a tad better. While it does have squid beacons, it gets you back in the action faster, and a lot of chargers, unless you have a splat bomb or a burst bomb or something, maybe even suction, it's not, the sub doesn't matter. It has bubble blower, and when you have a full charge of that, you almost guarantee that whole field is getting covered in your ink with those bubbles that just popped. Okay. Unpopular opinion. I think the Bamboozler is better than the E-Liter. Probably because I can't use the E-Liter, and I can somewhat use the Bamboozler. Bamboozler Mark II, the worst. Toxic Mist, which you really don't need with the Bamboozler. You just kind of tap fire and it kind of works. Burst Bomb Launcher. It's more of a meme than anything. I might have used Burst Bomb Launcher and got 1 kill out of the, I don't know, handful of times I used it. I don't know. But, I don't know. Next one, the Mark 1, I think is just a tad better. It has curling bombs. You can throw it, deceive your enemies, and then pop around the corner. Or you can just throw it and then chuck the missiles at him. You have missiles with this weapon. And while it's a short-ranged charger, technically it's a charger, I think missiles will work with this, and it kind of does. And then the Mark III has fizzy bombs, which is probably the best bomb because you can decide how far it goes with the shaking. And then the bubble blower, if you tap it enough times, those bubbles are guaranteed they're gonna pop, depending on the enemy weapon firing at the bubbles as well. But like it's almost gonna guarantee pop, which is pretty cool. All right, this is just the good old GooTuber. Now, I like the Goo. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna sound like a hipster. I liked the GooTuber before it was cool. People were making memes of the GooTuber, and they were like, "Wow, this is the dumbest charger." But now, after the main power-up update, people are like, "Wow, the GooTuber actually doesn't suck. This is the only charger you can kill people that's not a full charge, and you can still kill people." And I was like, "Wow, if only people gave the GooTuber more credit earlier." I do like the GooTuber though. It's really good. Because you can just hold it. You charge a shot and then you just hold it forever. It's great. If you're in a sticky situation, you got splashdown. It's pretty much a panic button at that point. And you have suction bomb. It's all right. Custom GooTuber. That's where it's at. What does it have? Has curling bomb, which you can be offensive or defensive with it, whether you want to be deceiving or you want to actually follow through with it and get better positioning, you know. And then it has inkjet, so just in case you can't fire a charger at me, you got an inkjet. Or if you just need better leverage, also. That's what the inkjet's for. Sloshers, oh boy. This is the Slosher Deco, as opposed to the regular Slosher. Slosher Deco, it's really weird. It has Sprinkler and Baller. With this weapon, I see why they equipped it with Baller, but when you, like, you know, burst the Baller, like, if there's anyone around you, they're going to kill you. The Slosher, it takes a few seconds to, like, actually, like, you know, swing the bucket, and it'll probably backfire more than help you if you use the Baller. And Sprinkler's just weird. I don't know, it's just weird. Regular Slosher has suction bombs and missiles. Suction bombs, I can see it being useful here. Missiles, also good, even though it's a close range weapon. I don't know. I see, like, even though it does contradict the weapon play style, missiles work with this weapon. Kind of. Even though no one uses the Slosher anymore. Soda Slosher, on the other hand, has Splat Bombs, which is a really good sub, and Burst Bomb Launcher. While, again, I made fun of the Bamboozler, I think it works better with the Slosher because you're already closer range, even though Bamboozler is a close range sniper, technically. Soda Slosher, it just works. Also, it looks sick. Look at... Wait, is that the hero? Yeah, that is the hero. Dang it. Soda Slosher. Looks sick. Look at that. I just made a fool of myself. We're gonna keep going. Soda Slosher, great. Tri-Slosher, this is technically a different class, so don't think the Tri-Slosher is better than the Soda, because it isn't. Tri-Slosher, this is the Nouveau. It has Splat Bomb. Again, I do love a good Splat Bomb. And Ink Storm. Now, I've said a lot of weapons can use like the Ink Storm strategy where you throw an Ink Storm and then you hit hit them with your weapon. I don't think it works with the Tri-Slosher. It's weird. You gotta maneuver yourself. You gotta be kind of close too. And it's one of the weakest. It is the weakest slosher and one of the weakest weapons in the game. It has 3 exit points, but even then, it's just. Ooh. Regular Tri-Slosher, however, it has burst bombs and ink armor. You can do the burst bomb strategy with this thing, except you kind of need either 2 burst bombs and 1 main weapon hit, or 1 burst bomb and 2 main weapon hits. But you got ink armor up your sleeve, so like you should be good to do that. It's looking plausible. All right, sloshing machine. I like this weapon. I like this game. It redeemed itself. I wasn't sure how I was gonna like it. I like it. I think I didn't give it a chance at first, and I like it. This is the Neo. It has the point sensor and the splat bomb launcher. I could see how it'd be useful, but I think all in all, unless you have range up or whatever, I think you're gonna have more range with your actual weapon. And at that point, the only way you're doing splat bomb launcher is if you're trying to get a push, get enemy team out of your base, or you just want to be a nuisance and throw out the splat bomb launcher. Which, hey, more power to you. The original sloshing machine, however, has Stingray and Auto Bomb. Auto Bomb's going to disrupt them. Sloshing machine, if they're that close, then you can hit them with a sloshing shot. But the Stingray, since this is a longer range slosher, if any slosher was going to have it, it should be this one. Maybe the no, I don't think the X-Slosher would work, just because I think this is the best weapon to equip the slosher with the Stingray. And even though it's not technically, this is technically a mid to close range weapon, and the Stingray is a hardcore long range special, it works just because of the way the playstyle has developed, and just the best way to play it, the Stingray works. Kensa Slosh. There we go. Fizzy bombs. I love fizzy bombs, even though I cannot use them to save my life. It's weird. Love fizzy bombs. And then this one has splashdown. So again, if you're in a sticky situation, or you just want to be a jerk, splash down your way to victory, Oh, God. There's only 2 of them. There's only 2 of them, Alex. You can do this. Blobber. The Deco has the sprinkler, which doesn't make sense. I guess it charges your special faster, but your special is suction bomb launcher. So, this is the one that really gets on my nerves. But Blobber OG has Splash Wall, which is annoying as crap, and Ink Storm. With it, and if the Ink Storm hits you for even a millisecond, and then the Blobber shows up, you're practically dead. Because you've taken enough damage from the Ink Storm, and now the Blobber hits you with 1 bubble, and it somehow kills you. It's ridiculous. I hate the Blobber so much. It has gotten to the point where if I trade with a Blobber, I'm happy, because it's a Blobber. Not kill it. It's ridiculous. Hate the Blobber. Actually overpowered, even though it's been nerfed. Please stop. Alright, now that we're done with that, this is the Explosher class, and there is a custom Explosher, if I am correct. Hey, I am, look at that. And this one has point sensor, which with the Explosher works, and a Baller. This one really throws me off, because Baller is super duper close range, and Explosher is super duper long range. So this one contrasts with it, even though you can use the Explosher close range, because that's how I use it, which is wrong. It doesn't work, because even if you get close range and use it that way, as soon as you pop the Baller, you're dead. There's no way around it. Sorry, that's how it works. Regular Explosher has Bubble Blower, and that is the key right there. Explosher plus Bubble Blower equals Explosion. And a sprinkler, just to, help you get the bubble blower just a tad faster. Okay. I dropped this class as soon as I picked up the Splattershot Pro. The Kensa, or just the Mini class, the Mini Splatling. The Kensa Mini, while the worst of the Mini class, still fun as any of the other ones. Kensa Mini has Toxic Mist and Ultra Stamp. Ultra Stamp is just fun to use whenever. And with the Toxic Mist, if you hit them, then... Okay. Sorry. I had an interruption. Anyway, Kensa Mini has the Toxic Mist and the Ultra Stamp. Ultra Stamp's fun to use, and if you hit the enemy with the Toxic Mist, you're just going to kill him because the Kensa Mini, as long as you're in range, you got him. Zinc Mini. Curling Bomb, Ink Storm. Honestly, if you didn't have to charge up the Mini, I'd probably put this up at the top, because the Curling Bomb is just ridiculous, and with the Ink Storm, this is one of those weapons. The Ink Storm combo works. It just does. But the thing is, you throw out the Curling Bomb, you follow it, you pop up, you have to charge your shot, and that usually gets you killed. You can use the Curling Bomb for a diversion, but what's the fun in that? And then the regular Mini. Where is the regular Mini? I lost it. Ah, there it is. Burst Bomb and Antenna Missiles. This is, even though you have to charge it, this is one of those weapons, if you know how to use it, you can use the Burst Bomb combo, because this one you do the reverse. Usually you throw a Burst Bomb and then hit them with your weapon. You hit them with your weapon, and then, when they're almost close to dead, Burst Bomb. Boom, problem solved. And then Antenna Missiles, always fun to use, disrupts them, and if you are in the right position, you can get a kill or two off of the Antenna Missile disruption. Alright. This is the Heavy Deco. Ah, here it is. So the Heavy Deco, it has Splash Ball and Bubble Blower. It makes sense, but I don't know. I might even rank this higher than the Heavy Splatling, which I think is next. Yeah, Heavy Splatling has Sprinkler and Stingray, which now that I'm looking at it is a weaker set, because Sprinkler, Stingray, it has been nerfed, so Bubble Blower would make more sense, and then Splash Ball gives you protection. Yeah. I think the Heavy Splatling and the Hero Heavy Splatling, even though it looks sleek, is worse than the Deco. And the remix is super duper fun. Booyah Bomb and Point Sensor. Again, Heavy Splatling, that's one of the weapons I would recommend Point Sensor, because you just own the field with it. Unless there's a sniper. And then Booyah Bomb. I never diss a Booyah Bomb. Ever. And then, I think that's the last of the Splatling class. We have Hydra Splatling. This is the OG. Has Autobomb and Splashdown. The Autobomb, you can hunt down an enemy, and sure, you can get some range on it. Splashdown doesn't make sense. Again, it clashes. It's only there to get yourself out of a sticky situation. And it's only a circumstantial special. The custom, however, it's a little more effective. You can place down ink mines, and while I usually trash the ink mines, it makes sense with the custom. No, with the custom Hydra. And then you have ink armor. I'm always an encourager of ink armor. Always. You can never have too much ink armor. Oh, I was wrong. We have the ballpoint. Forgot about that. So this is the... Oh no. Nouveau. It has Squib Beacons and Ink Storm. I don't like Squid Beacons, but the other one has Toxic Mist. So, like, I really didn't... These weapons can be interchanged, honestly. Both ballpoints are good. I like them. I probably would use the Nouveau because it has Ink Storm. The other one has Inkjet, which I think is better, but I just prefer Ink Storm as a player. It's just who I am. And I keep forgetting about other classes, because this is the Nodulus, another heavy class. I'm so dumb. Nodulus, okay. No one uses the Nautilus. I like this weapon. It's fun, not efficient. It's the only heavy that you can, like, hold a charge under the ink. When I was like, hey, they let charges do it, why don't they let like heavies do it? And they did, but it doesn't have that much range. It beats a mini, and it beats a ballpoint for a few seconds, and it has less range than the OG heavy is what I'm trying to say. This is the 47. Has point sensor and baller. Point sensor kind of makes sense, but again, it doesn't have a lot of range. And then baller, you're asking to die unless you kill everyone in that area, because again, you got to charge up your shot. 79. You have suction bomb and inkjet. Inkjet makes a lot of sense, and again, for the final time, suction bombs, I can't use them. They're super deadly though. I've died to a ton of them. I mean, go watch some videos. I'm sure you'll find me dying. Okay. We're getting down to the final few classes. We got dualies and umbrellas. Yes. Okay. These are the Dapples. The Dapple Nouveaux, I think. Yeah. It has Toxic Mist and Inkstorm. Toxic Mist, if you throw it down and then you, barrel roll around, while it's efficient, it takes up a lot of ink. Inkstorm, always fun to use, but I'd say it's probably the worst of the Dapple class, because the regular Dapple dualies, I think, are a little better, because you have squib beacons, and while I usually would discourage squib beacons, you can jump to a squib beacon and then a barrel roll out into an area, whatever you want to do. Then you got suction bomb launcher just to add insult to injury and be like, hey suckers, take this. Bam, you're dead. And then the clear Dapple dualies. Has torpedoes, always useful, and splashdown, which is even more useful. This is just pure close range weapon, and the Dapples are probably the closest dualie weapon, which really rounds out that weapon right there. This is the regular Kinsa dualies, because you have the Decos, or the Gluga as well. And with the regular Kinsa dualies, those are the Googlas. Let me see the regular Kinsa dualies, please. You have Baller and Suction Bomb. Suction Bomb is an odd choice. I would have preferred Splat Bomb or something. Maybe even Sprinkler. But, and then Baller makes sense with the dualies, because you Baller and then you just roll out of there and get a better vantage point. It's good. Probably the worst of the dualie class, though. Imparry. I don't use the Imparries ever, but it's actually kind of good. You got the Curling Bomb and the Inkjet. Throw out the Curling Bomb. Barrel roll a little bit. Pull out the Inkjet. I can see it being super deadly. I mean, it's good. I just don't use dualies. Regular Splat dualies. They have Burst Bombs, Tenta Missiles. I mean, Burst Bomb dualie combo anyone? And then you can barrel roll around. It makes sense. And then Tenta Missiles just to disrupt enemies. And then the heroes look pretty darn sick. Now the Googlas I don't like only because they're slower fire, and they're heavy hitters, but they're slower fire, and I think it's a contrasting idea just in itself with the main weapon. And the Deco has a splash wall, which is even longer range, which really doesn't make sense, and then Baller. And while I said Baller was good for dualies, their roll is slower. So really, I just think this is a bad set in total. The main weapon contrast, and then everything, the sub and the special contrast as well. I don't like it. Regular Google dualies, however, have Ink Mine and Inkjet, so you can be a little more. This is more of a sit back dualie class, because you can place the Ink Mines, run around, and then if you need to, pop the Inkjet. Or if you want to just play all defensive, just pop the Inkjet whenever you, need a defensive stand, or you're feeling adventurous, whatever you want. Kinsa Googlas, they have Fizzy Bomb and Ink Armor. Always appreciate Ink Armor, and I'm a sucker for Fizzy Bombs, as we have learned throughout this episode. Dualies. Dually Squelchers. Sorry, I'm dumb. The regular Dually Squelchers, they have, I think they have, oh crap. Do they have 10 missiles? I think they do. Dually Squelchers. Yes, they have 10 missiles on point sensors. This is a good weapon, but I think the custom is better because it has Splat Bomb and Ink Storm. I appreciate an Ink Storm any day. I'm sorry, it's just who I am. Light Tetra Dualies, they have chicken, like a auto bomb rush, which I call the chicken rush, and then their sub, it isn't a chicken, I don't think. It's a what is it? Sprinkler, which this weapon is designed for turf wars, and you have 4 barrel rolls with the Tetras, and while it's usually good, it doesn't kill anyone. So like this is an arrow spray pretty much. It's the arrow spray dually class. They ink, but they don't kill. Except for this one. The Dark Tetra kind of can kill. It has auto bombs, which, you know, if you know how to use them, can kill. And it has splashdown, which makes sense. You can barrel roll 4 times, splashdown, barrel roll 4 times again. Or, you know, whatever. You know, like, that's just to get maximum movement out of it. You know, splashdown, it's pretty much a panic button. It can be used whenever anyone wants. Okay. I know it's been a long episode. We're at the final few classes. This is the Cerellabrella. Where is it? Okay, it has Auto Bomb and Splat Bomb Launcher. It's good. It really is. Oh, wait, is that the regular? Oh, frig. Oh, it is. Wait, I'm confused. I confused myself. Oh, no. I think... Oh, crap. I think this is supposed to be the regular. That's definitely the Cerellabrella, but I think it's supposed to be the regular. Oopsies. Sorry. Regular Splatbrella has Sprinkler and Ink Storm, and it makes sense because, you know, an umbrella and then it has the Ink Storm. It's funny, but again, I already covered the Cerellabrella. It has the Auto Bomb and Splat Bomb Launcher. I just think that combo is better than the regular Splatbrella. Tenebrellas, they're just better overall. The regular Tenebrella has beacons, and it has Bubble Blower, which is good, but... And I used to use this weapon, but there are other weapons that are better off with the Bubble Blower. This is the Camo Tenebrella. Has Ink Mine and Ultra Stamp. You can play a little more defensive until you pull out the Ultra Stamp, then you switch to an offensive mode. I think that's super cool, and it fits the theme of the Brella. Play defense until you launch the Brella, then you're on offense. And then the Tenta Cerellabrella has Splash Wall and Curling Bomb Launcher. And this is pretty much, again, the base of this weapon. All of the weapons have this. Pretty much build up your sub, and then as soon as you have your special, go ham, and it's great. The Undercover Brella. It has Ink Mine and Splashdown. I never really used the Undercover Brella a lot, but I have seen people use it, and I see why it was used. And I think this is the Cerellabrella, Undercover Cerellabrella. Has Baller. It depends on the situation, because Splashdown I think is better than Baller, but the Undercover Brella, if you use your Baller, it's like an extra defensive shell before you pop out again, and then you have the Undercover Brella ready. And Splat Bombs, always a plus. And then Kensa Undercover Brella is... Well, when I find it, I'll tell you. Torpedo and Ink Armor. Torpedo, again, this one isn't spammed because it doesn't have 110 ink capacity. And it has Ink Armor. Always love Ink Armor. And that concludes the episode. Top 3 weapons, if I had to rank them in an actual top 3, would be Clash Blaster, Blobber, Splattershot Pro. Thank you for watching this episode. I'm sorry it was so long. I did not expect it to be this long. Probably if I didn't ramble so much, it wouldn't have been super long. But what you gonna do? It's not a Gamer Alex video unless I ramble. So thank you so much for watching. I know this was long and boring, but the next episode will be long and exciting. Kind of. It'll be the Splatocalypse stream. I'll be back from church camp, and I'll be ready to record for you guys. So thank you so much for watching. Peace out and stay awesome, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.